Most people don't even have real goals. They just have wishes and frustrations. You wake up every day hoping life will change, but you have no written vision, no why, no plan driving your actions. And then there's the other group, ones who actually sets goals. They wrote it down, they said the affirmations, but deep down within them, they never believed it was possible. What they don't understand is you're chasing the goals, but with doubt in your heart, fear in your mind. There's no inner agreement. That's why you quit. When your goals are aligned with belief, with emotions, with structure, they don't just stay on that paper, but they start showing up in your life. In this video, I'm going to teach you the formula that actually changed everything for me and how to reset your vision so it finally sticks. Let me guess, are you living in a house? Could you imagine that the apartment or the house that you're living in, that there is no blueprint for it? Imagine that the company just woke up and said, we're just gonna build this house, we're just gonna build this apartment, we're just gonna have people come live in it. Would you trust it if you found out that there was no blueprint, that there was no foundation? That is essentially what goals are. Goals are very important because if you don't have no goals, then you have no blueprint. And again, if you're building a skyscraper, if you're building a house, if you're building an apartment, the architects needs to sit down and to design the structure. They need to really understand what is the width, what is the length, how many rooms, right? What is the diameter? But the architectural design is very important. So we can utilize that to give it to the construction workers so that they can build it. It's also a ship, a captain. A captain sailing on a boat with no direction. You're sailing with no direction, and direction determines destination. So if you have no direction, then guess what? When the wind starts coming, when the storm comes, the wind is going to blow you away. The storm will carry and overcome that boat. That captain needs to have a map and a destination to lead the crews and the sailors to the port. You need to have goals. If you don't already have one, you need to have the goals so you can have a blueprint for your life. You need a vision. You need a plan. Part of where I'm at right now, everything that I do, there's been a plan for it. There's been a step-by-step to it. And so when I'm speaking from experience. And I've actually tracked that experience. Once I started setting goals, it's so powerful. Once I understood this, that I cannot just be drifting. I can't just be all over the place. I needed to write down some goals. Then I had something to look forward to every single day. You know, what we've been taught is just wish, happy hope. The universe does not work like that. God does not work like that. Think of it like a factory. God is there and dishing out whatever your order is. So if you go in there and you're demanding, give me this money, right? Give me this car, give me this woman, give me this man, we're just gonna look at you like, what are you talking about? You need to set some goals so when you go to the universe factory, when you go to God, you have a plan for him, you have a vision that he can bless off, and then it aligns. So that's first things first. You need to set some goals. Now let's just say that you do have some goals, and you know adults are very skeptical. We lose faith real fast, we lose belief real fast when something does not go our way. So me, for example, okay, I have some goals, and I have been hit by life. And when there's roadblocks, you start to diminish. If you're not very careful and if you're not strategic, standing on your faith and your belief, you're gonna start losing and drifting and then forget about your goals. What it is that there has to be an emotional connection to that goal. There has to be an alignment to that goal. Sometimes it's just not time yet. I have a certain financial goal that I wanted to hit, and obviously it comes with drifting, right? Neglect, not doing what is necessary, and I lost my belief. You need to have that emotional belief to those goals. Now, what we're gonna do is actually show you how to set goals. You know the importance of goals because if you don't have no direction, then there's no destination. And if you have no plan, you're gonna fall into somebody's plan. You do not want to fall into somebody's plan because they have no plans for you. You're gonna be a slave to their plans. You're going to be a slave to your boss plan. You're going to be a slave to the government's plan. You're going to be a slave to the universe plan. So let's go ahead and show you how to set goals. All right, real tangible goals. First things first, get you a book, not a little piece of paper. There's something so powerful with writing down your goals. I don't know how the elevator works, Well, I know when I go inside the elevator and when I click a button, it either takes me up or it goes down, while others are picking up the fruits. Some are studying the roots. Which part of the fruits or the end do you want? Start writing down your goals. Get you a journal. Get you a book. Get you something that you can hold on dear to and it can follow you along. First things first, we need you to get you that journal so we can go into the next step. All right, so get you a book. Now that you got the book, the next big thing, and this is the biggest thing, this is what a lot of people get a mistake in it. You have wishes. You have no goals. If I was to look at your goals right now, if you do have one, you probably have one of the vague and the most common goals. So I actually asked my coworker one time, I was like, well, do you have any goals? She's like, well, no, I don't have no goals. And I asked her, well, okay, let's sit down some goals for you. What do you want? And I told her, write down your goals so I could read it. So she did that, and I would go to read the goals, and guess what? This is what she put. I want to make 50,000 more. Nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with it is that it is too vague. That's a wish. Again, you're going to the factory, they're going to turn you back. What do you mean you just want 50K? What does that mean? Those are wishes and desires. You know what? You know what comes with having extra 50K if you're not ready for it? What I want you to do, the next step, open up that notebook or journal, whatever it is. And if you have a goal, like let's say a 50K goal, what I told her to do, I actually wrote it down here, was I told her to say, I will earn, it has to be very definite. Your goal has to be very definite. It has to be definite, it has to be at least a timeline to it, like a date to it. It has to be specific as to what you're gonna do in return for that goal. So I told her, that's the man. Asking just for 50K, it's not gonna cut, okay? What you had to say was, writing it down, definite a purpose. I will earn 50,000 more in income by, again, a definite date. It could be May, it could be June 1st of that year, whatever it is. It has to be very definite. And I told her, have something in return for that. In return for this, I will develop new high income skills, work smarter hours, and pitch value to the right people. It's all about value. Go watch my finance videos if you haven't already. I will follow this plan, steady sales or whatever it is that you're building the skills for, an hour a day. I will build a side income stream by whatever that date is, January, February, whatever. Apply for internal raises or higher paying roles starting December, January, February, whatever. And network weekly with income-focused professionals. So you see, you actually have something stated. You have a path, and you're giving it to the universe, to God. And I believe this will happen. I see and feel the money flowing to me because I've earned it through value and action. You don't get paid by demand, you get paid by value, service. So you see how vague sometimes our wishes and desires are? We have a happy hope. We hope life will just come at us or something good will come. It doesn't work like that. At least if you want it to be very fruitful, it has to be structured. It has to align. Okay, so make sure you have a definite purpose, definite plan, and the time and the date, right? And what service that you're gonna do in return for that. It has to all come in. Writing down that goal. Now that we've written that down, what you want to do is also you can add an accountability partner. Who do you want to have accountable for you, right? Hold you accountable for everything, so that you're not just going by yourself. If you can go by yourself, that's okay. And then with that goal, now you have a direction. Okay, now you have a direction, so you don't even think about it. You just have to do the actions every day. So you set out an action with that 50K, like you said, she's gonna study an hour a day. You start studying an hour a day and forget the end goal. You're gonna get there, but you forget the end goal and you start focusing on the daily tasks and actions that you gotta do every single day. What that's gonna do for you is you're gonna start stacking wins every week and building confidence. Make sure that you're repeating, you're talking it to yourself. Right? You're talking it to yourself, because what is going to happen if you repeat it, and I don't just mean just repeat it, but most importantly, have an emotion attached to that repetition. Emotionally connect to that goal. And I promise you, what is going to happen is there's a difference between your desires and discipline. It's going to merge together because now you're going to feel it. It's going to align. You're going to have that desire to wake up every day, to tackle it every single day. And that is how you do it. You have that strong desire to that goal, and it aligns and it sticks and it starts flowing to you. That can't happen if you don't believe in it. You got to believe in that goal. That's why you have to know what you're asking for. You don't just wish, you ask. Goals are very important. If you don't already have one, I know this is a long video, but I hope you stuck through to the end. And make sure, if you don't take anything away from this, direction determines destination. You need to have a direction for your life. At least, again, if you want structure. And this is only if you want structure, you want something to align and flow the right way. Do that and start believing in it and walk it every single day, even if it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes when I'm doing these videos, it doesn't feel, you're just scared, okay? Because you're starting off, but you keep doing it again and again and again, and forget the end. Focus on the process, focus on the journey. If you're in your car, you're going to a destination, stop focusing on the destination. Look outside, look at the greenery, right? Enjoy the ride, the music, the company that you have. And that's the beauty of it. All right, so make sure you set down some goals. Make sure that you're taking the daily actions to accomplish those goals. And I promise you, with every step that you're taking, you're gonna get to your final destination. I'm rooting for you. I hope this video helps you out. And if you enjoyed it, like, comment, share, subscribe, and watch other videos that I have to make sure that you're in alignment and you're walking with faith, with purpose, and living that lifestyle. I'm out of here.